Long, long ago, there is a golden city standing in the center of Mexico. One day, some foreign soldiers arrived, carrying their guns. With many efforts, they entered the city and found many treasures there. But have you considered that what really happened behind these stories? Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to Grant's channel. Today I'd like to show you guys my creation, a board game based on Spanish conquest of America, named Conquest. The game is a turn-based, card-based and role-playing board game, where players fight against each other and compete for victory. So now I'm gonna take a brief introduction of the components of the game. So game campaigns provide players a background to play. For example, the campaign Conquest of America includes different units from Spanish to American natives, which players can select and play. Units present different stats and abilities. Each unit contains their basic stats like HP and defend to block damage and survive, or range and mobility to move and damage enemies. These soldiers also have their unique abilities. For example, the Warlock soldier can deal damage twice to each enemy when attacking. The cards are extremely crucial resources in this game, not only for players to take actions, but also represent the player's health. That's right, in this game, you will lose if you use up all your existing cards. There are several kinds of cards. Action cards can only be used on matching terrains on the map. Tactic cards can only be played when its preconditions are satisfied. Derivative cards will appear in particular positions if their requirements are triggered. Instants are shuffled in the pile, aimed to provide random advantage for players, while stances decide if the player can attack in the next turn. It's important to switch your stance secretly and surprise your enemy. At last, you have the game map. The map contains many small tiles and each of them has their own terrains. Players can only use their action cards on the matching terrain, and there's also buildings on the map in order to make the game more dynamic and random. For example, when a player enters a warehouse, they can draw cards stored in it and also put their hand cards in. It would be really dramatic and fun if I dropped some useful cards there and turned the tide. Okay, so those are the key components of the game, but how to start a real one with so many puzzling game objects? Here's the method. So first, you have to choose a campaign and select the units. There are some stats describing the units, and you can't change it after the game starts. Second, put your tokens on the two sides of the map, which are the player's spawn points. Lastly, shuffle all cards except derivatives into a pile, and draw 10 cards to form the warehouse pile. Now all the setup are done. Time for a real battle.